Okay, here we go. TikToker was locked up for unthinkable prank. All right, here we go.
This TikToker was facing some serious time for terrorizing subway passengers, and as a result was locked
Good. This is good. There's nothing wrong with this. Lock the dumbass
up for
up.
about 10 months. So meet the Belgian influencer who's spent months pouring buckets of unknown liquids onto random passengers of the
Oh
subway.
my
and
god, dude, that would piss me off, bro.
now, after being locked up for 10 months in pretrial detention, just walked free with what might be one of the more lenient sentences that we've seen.
Let me guess, he immediately went back and started doing it again?
Because, I mean, most of the time when it comes to scumbag influencers I cover here on this channel, the updates we cover are usually about them getting arrested, sentenced, and how long they'll be serving in prison. However, this time, it's clearly very different. And the reason why this has happened might be a little bit more complicated than most people would think. But in case you don't remember who we're talking about Yannick. And he's built an entire online career off of assaulting random strangers with buckets of the most disgusting slop that you can imagine. We're talking about
that,
saying
paint,
beer, food, leftovers, dog
That's
waste,
disgusting.
all in one bucket, taking it to the subway and just dumping it over a random person. And this could be
and he wondered why. No, I guarantee he knows why he got locked up. But did he change?
A person to an elderly person to a 9-year-old kid. So any reasonable person would,
bro, let me find out.
See this and go, lock him up and throw away the key. We don't want this.
Right? Right?
But I guess Belgium thinks 10 months is enough for this, which who knows?
What the hell, dude? Like, someone could get sick from that.
It might be. Maybe he learned his lesson. I hope he did. But Yannick was arrested on January 3rd of 2024 after a judicial investigation was initiated. This follows the Brussels Public Transport Company filing a series of complaints. He was released on bail just 5 days later on January 8th under strict conditions. And instead of, reconsidering his life choices and, just...
Oh, let me guess. He immediately goes and does it again, right? Just immediately. Same day.
Decided, hey, let me just do that again. So he decided to just return and publish a new episode of his scumbag series in which, again, he pours some bucket of sludge over people on the train. And then just a few days later, he branched out into another complete moronic idea where he decided to just pelt strangers with eggs on the street of Brussels.
No way.
He's just a great person to have in society. So when he was confronted about this in court, Yannick defended himself, claiming that the subway video that he posted after he released wasn't actually new content. Now, he just had that backlogged and he was just out on bail and he was like, you know what? Might as well release another one for good measures. Why not? Clearly, that's crazy. No scientist, but also apparently it didn't even hurt him that much doing that. But essentially, what he did with that was, here you go, investigators, have some more evidence. And according to them, he had recorded that before his arrest and decided to upload it afterwards. In his own words, he didn't think about it properly. I don't know if the timing of when you filmed yourself committing the assault is the key issue here, but either way, that is extremely stupid. And then when confronted about the egg videos, he admitted to throwing the eggs, but also said, I never would have thought that anyone would actually file a complaint.
Well, what do you think would happen if you go out and assault people, dumbass? Of course they would file a complaint. Who wouldn't?
What? You never thought anyone would file a complaint about a stranger throwing eggs on them while they're just trying to do normal stuff in the city? Like, does this dude just think he's living in some sort of TV show where he's the main character and everyone else is just around?
You got that main character syndrome, man. I don't know what you expected.
Him, and they're just paid actors in his environment. He gets to roam free and do whatever he wants to. What kind of delusional bubble do you have to be in to think that assaulting someone random on the street wouldn't result in people being upset and filing police reports? Clearly, this guy doesn't have a single shed of any self-awareness in his body.
No, he has self-awareness. He's just gonna say whatever he can to get out.
It gets so much worse because, as we covered last time, on August 27, 2024, the police conducted a search of Yannick's home. And here, I guess, he decided to show them how much he's reformed from his previous legal troubles. So not only did he resist the officers trying to do their job, but they also found 2 cans of pepper spray during the search. So you have resisting the officers and the illegal weapons charges are what finally...
Oh, so it's an illegal weapon, okay. How do you even get pepper spray if it's illegal in the country?
Landed him back in the detention center.
What an idiot.
Because apparently pepper spray is illegal in Belgium. I didn't know this, but
that's crazy.
He spent about 10 months waiting for his trial. So the charges he was facing in total were 7, including violation of bail, insulting state agents, resisting against the police, possession of prohibited weapons, intentional assault and battery, destruction of public property, and distribution of dangerous looking substances. So that's quite a rap sheet to have right there. Now, if you'd fast forward to this trial that happened last month, the judge wasn't messing around. He did acquit him of one charge, the distribution of dangerous looking substances one. I guess they just decided while dumping mystery sludge on people is definitely assault, it wasn't quite dangerous enough to warrant that particular charge. My thought, though, is what if someone is allergic to whatever he threw into that sludge? I don't know. I feel like it's dangerous.
It's not even that. What if they were to accidentally get, drink that or inhale that? Who knows what that could do to their circulatory system?
But for the other charges, they initially demanded 30 months of prison time for the buckets incidents, plus an additional
30 months, that's it?
year for the egg throwing and resisting arrest. So in total, that would have been around 3.5 years in prison for everything that he did.
Jesus.
And the deputy public prosecutor laid out exactly why this case was so severe, pointing out that one of the influencer victims was a homeless person who was sleeping on the street. Another being a 9-year-old girl who had a bucket of this disgusting mixture thrown on her for one of...
Bro, I'd imagine if I was the parent to that and I was there, or around that, whenever that happened, dude, I'd have beat his ass, dude. I'd have beat his ass.
His videos.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Like, it's just so disgusting to me that he dumped a random bucket of sludge on a 9-year-old girl, traumatizing her and humiliating her just because he wanted some attention on social media. I am shocked.
I'm kind of shocked no one else actually started beating his ass.
Prison for that alone. And the prosecution also highlighted something that really shows Yannick's complete lack of remorse and understanding of the situation, because when the investigating judge ordered him to remove the YouTube channel, Yannick said no. So when he was asked about this in court,
he's not going to do that because he's getting his money. He's getting his money from that. That's why.
I didn't know that I could end up in jail again because of that. Okay, well, that's fine then, sir. Oh, you didn't know? Go on. Harass people in public. You didn't know. Like, that's your get out of jail free card. And apparently, it kind of is a get out of jail free card in Belgium. Belgium might be cooked. But obviously, Yannick's lawyer tried to plead for a lighter sentence, arguing that Yannick would benefit more from follow-up and guidance, and that he plans to pursue education. It's a little late, but
oh,
hey,
that's BS. That's a lie.
Because as it turns out, at the end of the trial, the judge agreed to the defense's plea of a milder sentence. So Yannick was sentenced to just 15 months of probation. That means that he is walking free right now as long as he doesn't violate certain conditions, like returning to his channel and uploading more videos of himself terrorizing the people of Brussels. So as long as he doesn't do that, he can basically just go free about his life. So TLDR, he essentially got 15 months of please be a normal human being. That would be great, sir. That was the punishment he received. Meanwhile, his two friends who helped him filming these pranks, they got sentenced to 100 hours of community service each. So all in all, Yannick spent 10 months in a pretrial detention center from August of 2024 until June of 2025. So it's not like he got off completely free, but you can definitely say that this was a slap on the wrist compared to what he could have been getting here.
He should have got the full sentence. Lock these people up, throw away the key before natural selection takes them out on the street.
Online weren't exactly thrilled with this outcome. Reddit threads about the verdict were filled with people expressing their disbelief as what they saw was a highly lenient sentence. Yeah, you could see these comments here. I mean, the general statement just seemed to be that 15 months suspended was barely a slap on the wrist for someone who had been spending months terrorizing innocent people and filming it for their entertainment. And many people were pointing out his sentence and what regular people face for much less serious offenses. Others were questioning whether the justice system was sending the right message to other potential pranksters who might be watching this case. And I mean, honestly, it's hard to blame them for
I feel like you gotta stop it before it starts. Especially whenever it comes to a lot of these pranksters, because if you stop it before it starts, then you won't have to worry about it in the future. You'll have some dumbasses that'll try new stuff, but then they'll end up getting smooshed out real quick.
From this, from my perspective, you don't know people's medical history. You don't know what people are allergic to. Either way, this is extremely dangerous. Pouring a bucket of an unknown substance on someone's head in public, and also just.
It's so stupid, man. They need to lock that bro up and throw away the key. Seriously. Big